wasn't just that I, didn't have a clue what to do, but I also was walking in with my grandmother, and Mama
Wow.
remains one of the smartest women I know, and she's fierce. I have watched her make a general cow. Like she has literally brought them down. And she's just a leader by default. She is
Wow.
incredibly smart, incredibly capable. And I watched this woman who is independent and brilliant become afraid and small. And
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
quite a
sitting,
contrast, and it's quite scary
right?
that to see someone that you hold such in high
Hmm.
esteem to witness
Right.
the fear in them.
Right, and she was scared, and I remember looking at the lawyers who were working this and sitting there with her, and they're doing what good lawyers do. "Yes, we know what your problem is. Yes, we have a solution for this problem, and we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. I need you to sign here, here, and here." And it was all, neatly wrapped up with a bow, except she was scared. And she
Right.
still didn't understand everything. She
Yeah.
knew she needed to trust her lawyer. She knew she needed to do what she was told, but she was scared. And I wasn't okay with that. And when I returned to the other side of the table working with clients in estate planning matters, I carried that with me. And
Yeah.
I started being very cautious in how I gave information, and not that I limited information, but I would always joke and tell them, I'm blonde. And so I'm going to put this in blonde terms because I can use really big legal words but it's not going to change, it's not going to make a difference if you don't understand it. Can use really big legal words but it's not going to change, it's not going to make a difference if you don't understand it. So if you feel like I'm bringing it down to too small of a level, you let me know, because I want to make sure that when you walk out of here, you can sit next to somebody in church and say, "This is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it."
Yeah.
And it changed that conversation. And I also made it a practice. In fact, I wouldn't take a client unless they had other advisors. So if they had a financial advisor, insurance advisor, I made it a practice to only work as part of the team,
Right.
because one of the things that scared her the most is she has a lawyer saying, "Well, we need to make a change to this account and this beneficiary and these different items." And she was required to take that information and translate it for her advisor, who was just as scared as she was at that point
Oh,
because they didn't know what
jeez.
we were doing or why. And so it really changed how I talked to my clients, and it changed how I approached any case as a team. And it was so beautiful. It was a beautiful practice, and I loved it, and my business grew. So I started there as an estate attorney, really loving my clients and working with them. I still love my clients. They bring me cookies and chocolate.
You
Um,
know, I
and
said to you when I met you, I was like, "You've got an
Mhm.
amazing, compassionate, loving
Oh, I love my
nature."
people.
Like with your
Yeah.
and I met some lawyers. Like I'm like, wow, I
Mhm.
wouldn't want, they don't like they really don't at all. And uh, I think
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing because this is why you're doing what you
Mhm.
do, which
Exactly.
excites me.
Exactly. And then, so as my practice grew, we had a case where we did an estate plan for a couple. We knew that the husband was going to pass away, that he had cancer. We knew that there was nothing we could do to prevent that. But we needed to do an estate plan that accounted for his, young adult children, or like, still teen, but not quite adult children. And then an ex-spouse and a current spouse and a business. And so a lot of moving pieces.
You've been listening to The Legal Owl, where law meets the unseen layers of clarity, leadership, and inner alignment. If this sparks something in you, trust that feeling. Let it lead you. For deeper insights, real conversation, and strategic guidance, connect through the Help Lawyer Network and subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts. If you prefer a more private connection, you'll find the path when you're ready. Until next time, stay present, think deeper, and lead wiser.